Conference USA takes center stage here. Western Kentucky, the Hilltoppers, 2-1 in Conference USA play. Middle Tennessee, they're looking for their first win in conference play. They've been in a lot of games. They're trying to get one here today. Lineups, Chris Walker, changed again for Western Kentucky. They've had injuries. Today they're without Cameron Justice.
They are without Cameron Justice, and we spoke with Coach Stansberry, and he is simply sick about it, but he's got to find a way. Next man up, and he's got to find a way to get it done for his team today.
There is the longtime head coach now in his 4th season here, leading the Hilltoppers. 20-plus wins in each of the last 2 seasons for Stansberry, and Nick McDevitt did some great things at UNC Asheville. They're trying to snap a 7-game skid. We were in here this morning for shoot-around. You wouldn't know this team's lost 7 in a row.
You certainly wouldn't. The enthusiasm, the culture that he's trying to bring to Middle Tennessee State. Keep in mind, this was a winning program under Kirby
Big
Davis.
Winning.
But when you take over, he has to put his own stamp on the program. A lot of injuries, a lot of new players. They're playing the right way. We'll see what happens today.
We will. The 138th all-time meeting, the most in Conference USA between 2 schools. They're separated by about 90 minutes. Reggie Scurry with it. Middle Tennessee, and they're blue, and Western Kentucky, I like the tradition, the red for them, and Scurry the first points of the game.
That is exactly what Coach Stansberry was worried about. He can ill afford for the big fella to get in foul trouble. They go right at him the first play.
Here is Jordan Rawls with it now for Josh Anderson, a high flyer, very athletic guy. Jared Savage being watched there. He's number 2, watched by Tyson Jackson. Savage can really shoot it from downtown, and foul is called, and it's going to be on Tyson Jackson.
You see Scurry again. Coach Stansberry was worried about Williams. Carson Williams, them going right at him, getting him in foul trouble. He doesn't want to foul. They're going to try to exploit that matchup the entire game.
Jackson checks out of the game. Opening minute of this one.
One thing's for sure, look for Middle Tennessee State to change their defenses if they can score like they did. But right there, speaking of scoring, that guy has been on a tear.
He really has. I describe him as a lunch pail, a hard hat, just a grinder. He just plays hard, undersized. He's been the guy they moved in to that 5 spot since the injury December 7th when Charles Bassey came down on his left leg late in the game against Arkansas and broke the leg. As good work inside by Milner, and there's Williams doing his thing inside.
Yeah, just a dirty work guy, talented offensively. There you're playing zone. They don't want to keep the thing. They want to keep it tight, shall I say. They want to force Middle to shoot threes from the perimeter.
Wilson took a look to a cutting Savage, and Savage now on the outside. Shot clock coming up to 10. Jace Johnson defending the ball. That's Rawls with it. Shot clock to 5 now. Williams not afraid to shoot from out there. He pulls up and fires, and short, and into the hands of the Blue Raiders.
Coach McDevitt very happy with that type of possession. Middle needs to get off to some great starts.
Yes,
they need to get off to some great start. That has plagued them all season long, and let's see if they continue to pound the ball inside and go at Williams.
No question about it. The games against Old Dominion, the game against Charlotte. We got a traveling violation called here. Both those games, the score in the end was respectable. The problem was, to your point, bad starts.
Bad starts and shooting. They have to do a better job of making shots. They're taking great shots. They just have to fall. You got a bunch of new players. You got a bunch of young players, and they're still trying to figure it out. And Conference USA is no joke, so it's going to be hard to get this thing going, but we'll see how they fare today.
Tavion Hollingsworth gives it up to Anderson down the lane. A little floater off the back foot. Got the roll, did Josh Anderson.
They're going to pound that ball. That's one of my keys to the game. Dominate the paint, whether that's offensively or making sure they get offensive rebounds. He is a tremendous offensive rebound and athletic player.
Jones kicks it back out to Jace Johnson. That's a triple and string music.
Basic basketball, inside, out, kick for a 3. A welcome sight for this Blue Raider crowd.
Yeah.
If they're going to punish and going to double team, you got to make them pay by kicking it out for a triple.
Hollingsworth now, and Scurry grabbed a hold of him there. The foul's going to be on Reggie Scurry, and we'll take a look at those keys you touched on, Chris Walker, as Thoughts?
Yeah, as I said, dominate the paint. That's what West Kentucky has to do with Williams. They have to limit their turnovers. When the Blue Raiders turn you over and get it going, that has plagued Western Kentucky thus far. And I said before, Middle Tennessee State, they have gotten off to terrible starts, and it's plagued them throughout the first half, and they got to defend the three-point line. They're one of the worst teams in the country, giving about 40% from the line.
Yeah.
Hard to win when you don't start off well and you can't stop guys from three.
Yeah, 40.3 to be exact, as Williams goes inside again and does the work in there to make it a 1-point lead for the Hilltoppers.
I guarantee you Coach McDevitt's not happy about that. Watching film, they love to isolate Williams and get him where he can get that rip-through drive with his right hand. Someone's got to be there to take a charge and make him make an extra pass.
Williams, one of 3 Mr. Basketballs in his high school days in the state of Kentucky on Western Kentucky's roster. We got a foul called here as Sims launched from downtown.
Just a simple isolation. He's just saying, you know what? You got to get in the weight room, little fella. He's going right into his chest. The way you should drive, if he's going to block it, he's going to have to come through his body, and it could be an and-one situation.
Donovan Sims, hometown product here from Murfreesboro, Tennessee. High school 6 miles away from the arena. Hollingsworth into the open court. Hollingsworth couldn't finish. Got it back against Green and one. Tavion Hollingsworth doing some work inside.
There's 2 words there. It's called scouting report. You go over their out-of-bounds plays. That's a chance for you to steal some points, steal and a layup, unconventionally get to the offensive rebound, but that's what that was right there. I'm sure Coach McDevitt saying you got to make a second cut. We all call that a second cut. When they guard the first cut, no one's open. You got to make another cut, and he's coming back and getting the offensive rebound. I'm sure the Blue Raiders aren't happy about that.
84th straight start for Hollingsworth, who is an 83.3% free throw shooter. And he completes a 3-point play in the road team with a 4-point lead here in the early going.
Again, West Kentucky changing up defenses, don't have that traditional shot blocker. 10-second call, that's what they want. I talked about it again, about the Blue Raiders getting off to a good start. 9-5, not looking good. Got to push the pace and play with confidence.
3 turnovers so far on the Blue Raiders. Goose egg in that department for Rick Stansberry's crew. 3 against 3 here. Rawls, quick handoff to Sims.
Yeah, I was going to say, love talking to Coach Stansberry earlier. He's not making any excuses. It is what it is.
Yep.
He's just got to find. He's got to find his way to get his team to play hard and win.
And Green driving to the bucket. Antonio Green, superior athlete, great from shooting it from downtown, and he can do that too.
And that's what they need. They need easy baskets.
Yes.
They need easy baskets. You know, the decent crowd here. Students are not here.
Right.
Decent crowd. This crowd is accustomed to winning games, and they need more plays like that.
Only time these 2 longtime rivals will meet this season in the regular season. Shot clock to 5 now. Rawls taking a look. And we got a foul called. And we got a break with 15:21 left here in the opening half. Chris Walker and Antonio Green doing some things.
That getting to the rim in transition. The Blue Raiders looking to get off to a good start. Green says it's money.
Welcome back. 15:21 to play in the opening half here in Conference USA action between Western Kentucky and Middle Tennessee. Welcome to our office. Chris Walker, Ben Holden. We did not talk about our wardrobes. We just showed up today at the arena, both in purple. Nevertheless, great to have you with us. Your thoughts, big picture on this game here today?
I mean, both teams, obviously, they need a win. They've been injured, and they've had that bug, but they got to find a way to figure it out. Neither coach is making excuses, but, you know, both teams on a good start so far.
So far, and that's a big key for Middle Tennessee if you're just joining us. They've lost 7 straight, 0-3 in conference play, but they just have had tough starts, and right now, 2-point differential. I'm sure Nick McDevitt there in the middle, their head coach, is fine with that.
He is fine with it. The bottom line is score.
Right.
You know, talking to Coach Stansberry, they need to score. They don't have that defensive presence or shot blocker. They want to outscore you. Middle Tennessee has to do a better job of stopping people from scoring so they can set up their defenses.
We'll look inside to Savage. Second effort from Jared Savage. Hit the game-tying three with less than 30 seconds left in their win over Arkansas back on December 7th. Was huge in that game. Here's Jace Johnson, takes it in, floats it, and they're going to call him.
Easy call there for the refs. Yep. Jump stop. You leave your feet in college basketball. Somebody, it's not the NBA. They're not worried about somebody's going to be there. You see the big fella, not only does he score points, he also gives his body up for the team.
He's a fun guy to watch. He's the hard worker. Transfer from Northern Kentucky, where he started his college career.
Middle Tennessee State again. Switching defenses, trying to keep Western on their heels so they can't be in that attacking mode that they love to do.
Jordan Rawls now, his counterpart Donovan Sims. Pair of number threes. Rawls getting it back now. 5 on the clock. Rawls drives inside. Nice job adjusting. And he'll go to the free throw line as he finishes there on a pretty looking drive.
It's just not great defense. Again, another straight line drive to the rim. And what you see, what you're missing, no one's there to take a charge.
Yeah.
You see Carson Williams, he's there on the drive from the middle Tennessee State player to take a charge. Where's that guy on the other end to help them? You got to negate those type of moves. Cannot allow them to get to the rim with such ease.
It's the 2, but not the 3rd point. And it's a 6-point lead for Western Kentucky.
Talk to Rick Stansbury. This is the start that he wanted from his group. Can't leave him open, though.
And I watched him there as that one was launched. You see him? He can't grab the back of his head and look down.
You won't be that lucky moving forward.
C.J. Jones, the top scorer for Middle Tennessee, averaging 16.5 a game. Had a good, clean look and could not finish. 6 minutes gone here in the opening half. 6-point lead for the team in red, the road team, Western Kentucky. And another foul is called. And there's Cameron Justice. He played 8 minutes the other night in their game at UAB. Came in the second half, could not go. A back injury that is just nagging him. They'll get him looked at when they get back home to Bowling Green, Kentucky early next week.
And let me just do this right here.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say is absolutely they need him in the lineup.
Yeah.
They didn't have him like they wanted to the last game versus UAB. They don't have him tonight. So if they get this, they're fortunate enough to get a win, it would be an unbelievable situation where Coach Stansbury feels like he can have some confidence in some other players.
Yep, and checking into the lineup for the Hilltoppers for the first time this season, number 50, Isaiah Cozart. Hasn't played at all, but they are thin. Here's Green from downtown. He does that so well. Only Marcus Howard from Marquette has more made threes among active players. He's in front of Antonio Green.
3 ball has changed the game. Making triples, how about that?
Beautiful.
Miscommunication right there.
Beautiful from Middle Tennessee.
It was. Like, there's no way that someone, whoever's guarding the ball, should take that angle away. They should only be able to throw it to the corner or throw it over the top. Huge miscommunication leads to a bucket.
4-point lead for the Hilltoppers. Triple try from the near side corner. Jones Scott up to get the rebound. Tapped it free and into the hands of Antonio Green. Green now takes a look. Good matchup between he and Hollingsworth. Jones is going to try from distance and nail it.
It's like I said, hand down, man down. You got to get your hands up. You have to force him to put the ball on the floor, because if he gets it above his waist, it's a bucket.
Middle Tennessee 2 of 5 from downtown. Western Kentucky 0 for 2 so far. Savage trying to change that, and he doesn't. And another rebound for Antonio Green. Lost a wheel back there and gets the right shoe on.
Pick and pop situation. Savage wide open. That's one of the things that Middle Tennessee State has to do a better job of guarding the 3. Won't be too many misses in that situation with that type of wide open look.
Yeah, looking for the lob there. Eli Lawrence trying to lob it up for the dunk for C.J. Jones, and the pass just a bit outside, off the mark.
Good idea. Just he needed number 23 from the Lakers to get that one.
Exactly. Here's a look back.
Just a jab step. Got to get your hands up. Make him a driver. That's what we say. You got to force him to put the ball on the floor and make him make a layup against pressure. But letting him get it above his waist into his shooting pocket, you put yourself in a tough situation as a defender. 5th
turnover of the game on Middle Tennessee. 1-point lead for the Hilltoppers. Good look to Cozart for the finish inside.
Good way to start things.
Yeah, goes Isaiah Cozart, the 6'7" freshman out of Richmond, Kentucky.
Nice little Kodak moment to get the game started when you come in.
Here's Green, tries it from the wing, spits out, rebound pulled down by Savage. So 5 turnovers in the game on the Blue Raiders. Western Kentucky's got 9 points off of those 5. As Anderson takes it in near the basket and goes into the seats. Cozart, first appearance of the year, looking pretty good so far for the Hilltoppers.
College basketball on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by AT&T.
2017, Middle Tennessee State, they upset Minnesota by 9 in the opening round of the NCAA tournament. Both these teams have had their share of success over the years in that. And Charles Bassey, NBA prospect, the night that happened, there were 14 scouts there to watch him. Just a terrible thing to see. Fracture in the left leg. He had the surgery done by the doctors that repaired a similar injury to J.J. Watt down in Houston. Here's the injury, that left leg. It was gruesome to see in person, and you just felt terrible for him, just awful. And what high expectations they had with Bassey. Preseason #1, Chris, coming off an 11-7 season. Rick Stansbury there in the chair told us when we chatted with him, he said, felt like we had everything in place, but that's just the, as I say, sports is the ultimate reality TV.
It's the way the ball bounces. Yeah. He's not making any excuses, but he certainly had his eyes set. I honestly believe with Charles Bassey, they're a top 25 team.
Yeah, you said that to him.
They're very hard to beat, but this is why I always say the coaches make the big bucks.
Right.
You got to earn your money now, and you got to coach your way out of the situation. And also, that's why you get 13 scholarships.
Right.
It's the next man up. Carson Williams has had an opportunity to shine, and he's done that thus far.
Has he ever?
But he's going to have to have some other guys step up if they're going to have the season that they intended on having.
Williams taking a breather right now for the time being. Was told by the sports information staff from Western Kentucky earlier today. I asked how Charles Bassey was doing. He's been at some of their home games since he got back from Houston. The surgery was done and a cast on his leg, and he's doing well, doing a little bit of rehab. It's a 6 to 9 month rehab, just a long haul for him to come back. We wish him the best. Lawrence tries from deep, no good off the heel. Savage in there battling with Scurry, and it's going to go over to Western Kentucky.
Yeah, just to talk about that point again, like when kids are looking forward to their ultimate dream of playing in the NBA, he's an All-American. You hate to see that happen.
No question.
You always cheer for the kids, but this is a part of the game, and what I would love nothing more than we're sitting here again next year. He rehabs and has an amazing game and comes back from that injury.
So Carson Williams, his breather was short-lived. Not a lot of numbers for Western Kentucky right now. As Sims comes back in there, #3 for the Blue Raiders. The hometown product is Eli Lawrence checked out. Also into the game now for Western Kentucky, Jeremiah Gambrell, redshirt freshman out of Houston.
H-Town in the house.
H-Town, your hometown.
Absolutely.
That's
right. Cheer for the hometown boys.
Here's Gambrell with it. Skips it across to Anderson.
Partner, what you're seeing is a chess match between both coaches. Western not really deep. Western Kentucky not really deep, so they're playing a lot of zone. Middle Tennessee State, and they got to try to do a better job of, someone's got to guard that basket. They got to put some guardrails there because they're getting to the basket with ease. They're going to have to talk about that at halftime because Carson Williams is going to drive from that elbow area all game long.
Gambrell with a rebound. I love the quote I pulled from earlier in the week as we do our research preparing for games. Carson Williams said, I just try to be the toughest one on the court every game. I mean, he is not built to play center.
No, he's not. Looks like a tight end.
Yeah, he does.
Deceptively athletic, by the way.
In the last 5, and you see what he's done, and he's been getting it done every time out.
He's been a beast, and we talked about it where you hate to see the big fella Charles Bassey go down, but that wouldn't be happening if Charles Bassey was in the lineup. So sometimes as coaches, you find a gem like that, and sure, Carson Williams, again, no one wanted Charles Bassey to go down, but that production right there, credit Rick Stansbury for not hanging his head and just putting Carson Williams in a situation where he could be successful and help his team.
Josh Anderson gets the first for Western Kentucky. Anderson, a product of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Season high 19 for him against North Texas. That was a game in which Western Kentucky was down 15 at a huge second half, scored 61 in the second half to get that win.
They're explosive. They have to outscore you. They're not a defensive juggernaut without Bassey inside to block shots.
Kozart called for the foul inside on Western Kentucky. Nick McDevitt, the Middle Tennessee head coach, telling us this morning we've got to have a better start and make shots. 7-point deficit now.
Yeah, easier said than done.
Right, exactly.
Easier said than done. Nice move.
Beautiful move, trying the tip back, no good. Good hustle there from Tyson Jackson. He came into the game shooting 57%.
Yeah, you see it right there, man. Yeah. That says it all. The smile, that smile, he's forcing that smile to come out. Because I've been coaching a long time. Right, I know that smile. But the second half, they've been on fire. But the first half, they haven't gotten a W when they haven't had the lead in the first half. They're 0-11. It's just tough. Yeah. It's tough to play from behind. We made the parallel of the team that runs in football.
Yep.
They get down 21-0, and then they have to pass.
They got to throw it, yeah.
And they got to throw the ball. And they don't have Dan Marino.
No.
Did I date myself by saying Dan Marino?
Maybe a little, but it's okay. It is what it is. Traveling called on Carson Williams, and the Blue Raiders haven't won a game since December the 3rd. Tough stretch, but again, I mean, I was blown away. I know you were too this morning at shoot-around as they took part in theirs, and a little blood there on Williams. He checks out as Kozar comes back in, but coming in this morning, the energy was sky high. It really was. You wouldn't know.
No, you're right. It was sky high. But part of being a coach, obviously Coach McDevitt has been successful at Asheville where he came from. He knows what he's up against. Obviously, you can't foresee the type of injuries and the way that the recruiting world works now in college basketball is very difficult. But he's up for the challenge. He's been a proven winner. He's a proven guy that can develop players, so we'll see what happens in the coming years.
Yep, that one too hot to handle for Antonio Green. Unforced there, and another turnover for Middle Tennessee.
I'll tell you this, a lot of coaches can maintain. I've been in those situations where I've coached at Villanova where we were a juggernaut, we had it going.
Yeah.
But when you have to build a program, very few coaches have that talent.
Nice touch there from Tavion Hollingsworth. The lead is now 10. Middle Tennessee needs to get something going here to stop a 9-0 run that's approaching 3 minutes now.
It's all about defense. Have to get some stops. Have to get some stops to create some transition, some easier shots.
Here's Scurry, the double team. Savage came over to help. Jones is going to fire from deep. And Scurry had it. Went right through his hands into the waiting hands there of Gambrell, who walks it up court. Nearly stumbled, lost his footing there.
Western Kentucky's going to spread them out, run that ball screen motion, and try to get drives going down the gut of the defense in the lane.
Kozart was calling for it. He's played in 5 games, but sparingly he's played. Nice job there on the drive by Gambrell, and that forces the hand of Nick McDevitt. His team down by 12 now.
Again, got to get to the rim. Someone has to be a protector for sure. Middle Tennessee down 12.
So Nick McDevitt out of the timeout, his team down by 12. Give me an idea what went on inside of that huddle. What do you think he echoed to his team?
The first thing he says is, remember when I said one of the keys was dominating the paint. Western Kentucky has driven the ball and gotten to the paint whenever they want. If people think of dominating the paint as rebounding, they're getting in the lane and scoring at will. They have to be more physical. Someone has to be there to take charges to ward off the confidence that the Hilltoppers have of getting in the paint.
Well, the Blue Raiders started 3 of 4 from the field, just 20% since 2 for 10. Now 5 for 14. No points in over 4.5 minutes. They need that to end to get back into this thing for their cause. Sims lobs it up. That'll help.
Great action.
Beautiful.
Great action.
Scurry on the finish.
Drive to the rim. Throw it up. A nice little lob action.
Here's Kozart inside.
That's what I'm talking about, partner, right there.
That's exactly what you're talking about. He walked with it and knocked down Scurry. Here's the dunk.
getting into the rim. Welcome to Conference USA.
Right.
With a nice little Kodak moment there by the big fella. He said, somebody's got to help me. Cozart, like, oh, come on, what do I do? Do I go for the lob or do I go for the floater? Went for the floater, and we saw the result.
Entering this game, Cozart had only played 19 minutes in 5 games, just 3.8 per game. But with the situation with Cameron Justice out, of course, well documented. The college basketball world knows about Charles Bassey out. His Green short on that one. Hollingsworth down on the deck trying to battle for it. Everybody down on the deck. Scurry's got it. And we got a jump ball and possession going to go over to Western Kentucky. 7:53 remaining in a battle here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee between Western Kentucky and Middle Tennessee. Just inside of 8 minutes remaining here in the first half. Western Kentucky on top by 10, although they are looking at something that could change that. We'll follow up on that after we tell you tonight at 10 Eastern. The new PBR season continues in the Windy City. Don't miss the Chicago Invitational right here on CBS Sports. So what I referenced, they were looking back at the three-pointer earlier in the game by Hollingsworth. Here's a look at what they were looking at.
They were definitely looking at it. I'd be looking at it because Hollingsworth's not known as being a three-point shooter, but he knocked one there, down one there, and I'm sure that's going to do well for his confidence.
Yeah, he's only shooting it at 22.6 from downtown.
It's always nice when one of those falls when you're shooting 26.
Yep. Confidence can do a lot.
You're right, but it's one of those things where we talked to Coach Stansbury earlier. Somebody else has to step up because the three-point shooting with Justice, they do not have that tonight.
Yep. And another violation. Another violation on Western Kentucky. So Middle Tennessee down by 10. A chance for them to chip away at that deficit.
Yeah, Rawls just unaware. Yeah, freshman mistake there, not paying attention. He's getting his second start of the year. It's one of those small things with Cameron Justice not being in the lineup.
Freshman out of Chattanooga. Anderson, and they're going to call Scurry for the foul. That's 2 now on Reggie Scurry. Western Kentucky in the bonus, and there's Cameron Justice. Grad transfer.
I don't know if you got to get one of those donuts or so. He says back, right? Is bothering him. Should he have one of those little boosters or something?
You know, when I called the Arkansas game, I talked to him in the morning shoot-around. I said, you should Google Paul Rabel.
Oh, okay.
Paul Rabel is the man that created the Premier Lacrosse League. He played at Johns Hopkins. He looks very similar to Paul Rabel. I didn't get a chance to talk to him today. Had he been playing, I would have and asked him if he did that.
I got to watch you with the lacrosse stuff because you had me with the LeBron lacrosse during the Northwestern DePaul game.
Pat Spencer.
Yeah, I got to be careful with you. You're trying to get me into lacrosse now. Jim Brown couldn't do it, so slow down.
Jim Brown did do it. They changed the rules because of him. But we digress. 26-14, Western Kentucky. Here is Sims, the hometown product. Went to Blackman Elementary, Blackman Middle School, and then Blackman High School. And coming to games here for many years, now playing on this very court. He watched players like Giddy Potts play on.
Giddy Potts was a heck of a player.
Yes, he was.
A ridiculous shooter, strong physical guard. There were some good times here. And I actually believe that Coach McDevitt's going to get it going again. Yeah. It's just a tough go right now trying to get players and get some continuity.
Anderson skies up to get the rebound. You notice there Savage was very careful defending that. Didn't want to pick up a cheap one inside.
This Middle's trying to exploit Western Kentucky switching on defense and force them to guard bigs and the posts. They don't want to foul because that definitely reduces their chances because that bench is very short.
It really is. Savage tries from downtown, knocks it down. Jared Savage.
Always looks pretty from the good players, right?
Oh, yeah.
You always know when it's
good
going in from the good ones. He's been on a tear.
Western Kentucky 2 of 5 from downtown. That one off the backboard. Middle Tennessee 2 of 9 from distance.
So the one thing that bothers me about the Blue Raiders, they got some good action. How about that?
Two for Hollingsworth.
I mean, you got to get a timeout after that.
They don't need to review that one.
Know, but what do you do if you're Coach McDevitt? My goodness. Western Kentucky, the Hilltoppers are definitely playing like they're on top, and they're on fire.
32-14, this one seeing Nick McDevitt's guys falling behind the 8 ball here once again. And I mean, Western Kentucky's just 2 of 5, but 40.3% teams are shooting from downtown against Middle Tennessee. That's got to get better. Great work, Hollingsworth, and Anderson doing what he does.
That's what you call an ooh-wee. I mean, he's nicknamed a human highlight for Western Kentucky. Oh, my goodness. But to get back to your point, it's very difficult to win if you can't score at a high clip and you can't defend the three-point line in today's game.
21-2 run over 6 minutes now. Middle Tennessee in that drought is 1 of 10 shooting the rock.
Yeah, Middle Tennessee State ranked. They just need to slow down. They need to slow down one stop at a time. And here's that hustle there about Hollingsworth. And there it is. Boom. He just throws it right behind his ear, just like I used to do it at Villanova.
You did. You did. I'm going to YouTube at halftime to see that.
No, don't do that. But listen, before we talk about dating ourselves, you know, I didn't want to say Prince like you stole my Purple Rain.
We didn't even talk.
Oh, we didn't talk? Okay, well, I was wondering.
We haven't seen each other since we did Northwestern DePaul on December 21st, last time we were together.
Okay, I'm just, you know, I want to make sure.
You walk in, you're in purple. I'm like, are you kidding me? I got a purple shirt. I pulled the tie out.
I thought you were a Vikings fan or something. I didn't know.
In that game, I'm rooting for the Niners.
Talk about the NFL, the Titans tonight.
Yep.
Titans tonight.
So the lead now is 20 with a little more than 5 to go. And you're Middle Tennessee State. Now is the time to try to put a little 8, 10, 12-0 run together. If you can do that, as you see, 21-2 over 7+ minutes. And they are just having all kinds of trouble with it. Jones down to the deck with a foul called on Savage.
And you're just sitting there, you're Coach McDevitt. You know better. I've sat there. I know what that feels like as a head coach. Yeah. And you just sit there and you know that it's going to be different. But as I say, you still got to sit through these days. And hey, let's keep something in perspective. They play great in the second half. I don't want to, you know, say that these last 5 minutes don't mean anything, but they're a great second half team when they make adjustments. But I like to see them play a little bit better right now.
Well, their differential is this. In their first halves, 637 to 498 as Anderson brings it up court. And he traveled with it, took 2 steps backwards. In the second half, Chris, 653 to 576, to your point.
Amazing. Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah. It's got to be a concentration thing. We talked to the coach earlier, and he says that sometimes they just don't make shots. Sometimes they're making shots, and the other team's just playing great. So it's a mixed bag of reasons. Bottom line is they just have to get better and get more consistent. And dare I say, they need to get more confident.
Yeah, no question about it. 4:35 to play in the half. Scurry, lefty, no good. Williams, the rebound. Carson Williams smartly slowing it down.
He did. So when he gets that close, he's got to get fouled. You got to go right at Carson Williams.
Take it out.
You got to get him in foul trouble and get him to the bench.
Here's Rawls, watched by Green. The speedsters, Anderson. Watched by C.J. Jones. Now Rawls, shot clock under 10. Williams, a fake, but he walked. And an unforced error there on Western Kentucky goes back to the Blue Raiders.
Yeah, Blue Raiders, I'll take any stop I can get. Now we got to get some type of flow and get a good shot. What I like to see them do is get something going to the rim. Get something like a floater when they got the floater dunk for Scurry. Get something instead of just a contested three-point shot. Get Western Kentucky chasing or get a mismatch in the post.
Lawrence hands off to Jace Johnson. 15-footer off the heel. Hollingsworth inside. I mean, he should not be getting that rebound, should he?
Well, he shouldn't be getting that rebound, but Johnson should have made that shot. That's a gimme little jump shot. You got to make that one.
Yep. So the under 4 timeout, 3:53 to play in the first half. So far, the home team not looking so good. The road team, they're feeling good so far. A little less than 4 minutes to go until halftime. Western Kentucky on the road on top by 20. And coming up, speaking of the half on AT&T at the half, Our good friends Brent Stover, Wally Zerbiak, Jameer Nelson, and Seth Davis standing by in our New York studio. They'll take you through the day in college hoops. And we'll have first half highlights and stats as well here from Murfreesboro. 3-point shooting for Western Kentucky. Good percentage so far.
A good percentage so far, and 2 of them made by a guy who usually doesn't shoot them in Hollingsworth. So that shows you right there where Coach Stansbury's getting contributions for. He didn't know who it was going to come from when Justice was out. But on the other side, Middle Tennessee State giving up 40% from 3 for the season. That's 50%. Not a good sign.
Not good at all. 0 for 3 they started since. They haven't missed. 20-point deficit. Again, I ask you, head coach, assistant coach, player at Villanova, inside that huddle, what do you think's being said in there?
It's a long game. It's a long game.
Yeah.
It's 30. You got 20 minutes to go in the second half, and then you got a 4-minute game here that you got to try to win. I used to work for a guy named Steve Alford. He looks at everything in 4-minute games.
Okay.
Let's play the next 4 minutes the best we can, cut into this lead, and go in and talk about everything at halftime. And we got another 20 minutes where we usually play better than our opponents.
Right. Well, the numbers and the games in the last couple have shown that for Middle Tennessee. They've been a lot better in the second half, but when you're down by 20 or more, that mountain is a lot tougher to climb. As Hollingsworth, 83.3% at the line, a rare miss for him. Points in the paint, 20-8 in favor of Western Kentucky.
Dominating the paint.
Yes, you've harped on that, and it's a great point.
Western usually do not miss free throws, shall I say.
Incredibly good free throw shooting team.
Another thing I'll say about Middle Tennessee State, they got some guys sitting out now. Don't enjoy what's going on right now, because times are going to change in Murfreesboro very soon.
Middle Tennessee looking for their first points in nearly 5 minutes, and they get it on cue from Chase Johnson.
I guarantee you that was talked about in the timeout. Guys, let's get something going to the rim. They do not have a shot blocker or a shot changer. Let's go to the rim the same way they're doing to us on the other end.
Attack it. Here's Hollingsworth, knocked down those 2 threes from the vicinity he's in. Got it free to Josh Anderson. Anderson guarded by Jones. And Anderson blows right by him. Oh, he's fun to watch.
I'll tell you, in the film session tomorrow, number 22 Scurry, he might have to do a couple suicides. He was standing right there. You got to give your body up for the team. You want to be a big-time player. They do it in a league with 3 letters called the NBA. They take charges. You got to take charges here.
Green can't hit. Johnson inside, fouled by Hollingsworth. 10 in the game for Josh Anderson to this point.
You're driving to the rim. Nice low action there. That's what you need, though. Just jump, stop, power move, and look right here. See number 22 right there. He's got to get there quick. You got to slide your feet, and you got to get there, and you got to give your body up for your team. But that's what Western Kentucky has done. They've attacked the rim, right? There's no fear of anyone being there. Forget about blocking a shot. Somebody taking a charge.
Anything.
Anything.
Right.
Some resistance. And that's why this deficit is where it is.
It's the second free throw attempt here from Middle Tennessee in the game. And Johnson able to can them both. Western Kentucky 5 of 10 at the stripe. Inside of 3 to play. 36-18, Western Kentucky with the lead.
Spreading them out, try to get drives downhill just like that.
Hollingsworth, draws contact. Foul's going to be called on Lawrence.
It's good action there. Just spread you out, move you around. You want them to chase them, try to negotiate switches, catch them slipping, then to get it right from the top, driving right down the gut of the defense. It's just in a great rhythm right now. The Hilltoppers are in a great rhythm. And I know Rick Stansbury, sitting with him before the game, he's got to be happy about what's going on right now.
No question about it. 3rd personal foul there called on Eli Lawrence. And they're going to get Lawrence out of the game. Sims comes back in.
You know what Coach Stansbury did say that struck a nerve with him? He says, you know what, guys? All these things have happened, but you know what I'm going to do? What do you say? I'm going to be positive.
Yes.
He said, I'm going to be positive.
Yes.
It's my job. They don't make free throws. It's my job. They don't make shots. It's my
fault.
job. It's his fault. He's going to absorb this, take the pressure off the kids. And guess what happened? He's paying dividends right now.
Been at it a long time as the product of Battletown, Kentucky. It's 109 miles from Western Kentucky's campus.
Man, you do your research.
I try. Jones up top. Deep three. They needed that.
I'm talking about.
C.J. Jones.
From the parking lot.
That's right. Here's Rawls now. Green trying to stay with him. Rawls gives off to Williams. Williams. And it's going to be off of Williams.
That's what they need to do.
Yes,
Get
exactly.
more physical play with some energy and enthusiasm. There you go. They catch them switching, right? That's something they have to make sure that they force Western Kentucky to have to negotiate. Catch them in the middle of, is it your guy? Is it my guy?
Yep.
And try to punish them, particularly with Williams.
So Jones, who shoots it from 41.5% from downtown, can the last one. Johnson had it. Jace Johnson went right into the hands of Carson Williams. 100 seconds and counting left in the half. 17-point lead for Western Kentucky. They've got it.
Sims really needed that to fall. He's been struggling.
Yes.
And that would have been a really good one to fall. West Kentucky, they're steady isolating on the perimeter on those wings and trying to get drives. Just can't let that happen.
Savage comes in and taps one home.
Savage being a savage on the glass.
Yep.
Once again, talking about dominating the paint, where there's driving to the rim on straight line drives
right.
or offensive rebounds.
Here goes Jones again.
Tough one.
Williams the rebound.
Just can't get frustrated. Just got to just work the offense. It's an entire another half. I'm excited to see Middle Tennessee State play.
Based on what we both watched in preparation in their games, they found a way to get back into games. So Rick Stansberry's crew on top here, 40-21. Quick timeout with under a minute to go in the half. 55 seconds remaining here. Chris Walker, a 19-point deficit. This Middle Tennessee team. We've talked about it since the outset of this game. Their plan, their goals were to come out strong, to shoot it well. They haven't done that. The good news for them is, if form holds true, they've been a very good team in the second half.
Yeah, I'd like to see them get a stop here and maybe get a three. As you can see, they're in the zone defense, playing a little chess match. Coach Stansberry probably drew up a play driving to the hoop. And they're getting zoned. They're
going to have to move it here. Anderson, shot clock to 2. Anderson elevates and finishes.
Not what they wanted.
Not what Middle wanted, no, but perfectly done by Anderson and the Hilltoppers. Green now back the other way, kicks out. Jones from downtown, he got another one. C.J. Jones.
But see, that shot was a drive and kick. That's what they got to get. Instead of shooting over opponent who's guarding you, drive, draw the defense, kick for open looks.
13 in the game for Jones. Averages 16.6, the top scorer for the Blue Raiders. Williams going to try one up top from distance.
Too quick.
Savage battling and down on the deck. And a foul call with 4 seconds remaining in the half.
Sure that Western Kentucky's going to play a little bit of a zone, three-quarter court zone maybe, not allowing them to get the ball up as quickly as they want.
No foul call there. It was a jump ball, possession arrow with the Blue Raiders. Sims, the floater at the horn. He could not get it to go. And it's a 42-24 score in favor of the visitors from Bowling Green, Kentucky as we reach halftime.
Blue Raiders got to go in at halftime, and they have to have a serious talk. Rick Stansberry, he's ecstatic about their start in the first half.
Last shot here from Sims. Had time, got it away in time, just short on it.
Short on it, and I'm sure Coach Stansberry's going, guys, are you serious? He's going to let him get to the rim like that. I'm sure they want that back for sure.
138th all-time meeting between these two. They first met 1914. That's the end of the half. After the break, it's AT&T at the half. You're watching college basketball on CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Best moving pictures from the opening half. Thanks to our tape room for putting that together. Just about set to begin the second half. Western Kentucky on top 42-24. Chris Walker, Villanova in his playing days, coached all over. Ben Holden, great to be with you here on this Saturday night here in Tennessee. And Biggest takeaways from half number one, Chris?
Coach Stansbury, he couldn't have drawn this up any better of coming out playing the way they played. And Coach McDevitt, I'm sure he had a long talk about playing with physicality and not giving up so many points in the paint.
Certainly see how that start for Middle Tennessee begins when they get going here in the second. Highlights, moving pictures, take us through those, the key plays.
Just straight line drives, I say, through the gut of the defense, getting to the lane, no resistance, no one's taking charge. You see Williams, that is what they love to do, isolate in those situations. Again, you have to do a better job of providing some resistance and being physical and take some charges if you can't block shots.
Let's take a look now at the game summary brought to us tonight by AT&T. You see the points off, turnovers highlighted. Anything else really grabbing your eyes?
I'm going to do a big circle right here.
There you go.
That right there.
That
is a recipe for disaster.
Yes.
64%. You're beating no one at 64%, and that lends itself to what we just talked about on the clips before with the points in the paint.
So set to go here in the second half. Middle Tennessee trying for its first Conference USA win of the season. 0-3 to this point. Western Kentucky started out 2-0 with wins over North Texas and Rice before losing in their last outing Thursday at UAB. In the second half underway, Western Kentucky with the basketball.
And let's see what kind of energy that Middle Tennessee State comes out with defensively.
Savage trying from distance. Johnson the rebound.
Yeah, good start, get a stop. Let's see what we get on offense here. See if they try to push the pace a bit.
And Jace Johnson had it and lost it.
Good idea.
Got away.
Yeah, good idea. Just as my old coach, Roland Massimino, rest in peace, says, the operation was a success, but the guy didn't make it. He got to the rim, and just lost it out of bounds.
Jared Savage swings it for Anderson. Solid first half out of Josh Anderson. Solid half out of Carson Williams as well.
There's absolutely no reason for Western Kentucky to rush, run that clock, and try to get to the rim and make plays like they've done all game long.
And Sims trying to save it. Just off to our right, diving effort from the hometown product. Averaging 9.6 per game, but just hasn't got going offensively so far tonight.
He hasn't. Hometown boy, nice little action. What you can't see there, you see all the guys sprinting to pick him up. They need to sprint and take some charges. That's what they need to do.
Yes,
to
they
play
do.
with some more energy on defense. Love the effort, but need a little bit more than that.
Yeah, Savage had to beat the shot clock and did. And the ball's going to go over to Middle Tennessee. So we talked about it in the first half. We've touched on it here in this early going in the second half. So last 3 games for Middle Tennessee, down 7 against Marshall at half, lost by 4, down 17 at Charlotte, lost by 6, down 18 in Old Dominion, lost by 10. So it's been in their DNA to fight back and have stronger second halves, but we got a foul called against the Blue Raiders here.
It is, and you can see Coach McDevitt said, what do you want me to do? Who do you want me to put in? Good physical play by Jackson, but you have to be still. You can't move on that screen, a bit too physical. And to your point about being down, it's just when you exert so much energy in coming back, every single play matters. And then when you get to a point where you need a bucket to get ahead, you can't get it, and you end up losing by 4 and 6 and 10.
Right. Travel call there on Tavion Hollingsworth, who 3 of 5 from the field, 2 of 2 from downtown in the first half. He had 11. Josh Anderson led the Hilltoppers with 12. C.J. Jones, the only player in double figures, 13. He's got the rock now for the Blue Raiders.
Blue Raiders need to move Western Kentucky around, force them to chase them a little bit. They're a little stagnant.
That save by Anderson behind the back to Hollingsworth. Gives it off to Williams, and
oh, wow, no foul?
Yeah.
I was about to say.
So was I.
I was about to raise my hand up and say foul. I had an out-of-body experience.
Here's the no call.
I know, like a drive right there. I mean,
Hand up.
That's clearly a foul.
Yeah. Kerry Sitton, Clyde Owens, Shane Staggs, our referees today. So Williams at the free throw line. Since the injury to Charles Bassey, averaging 18.5 and 9 rebounds a game. As Jackson checks out,
a beast.
Milner checks back into the lineup, or into the lineup for the first time here in the second half, I should say.
He's a physical specimen, and you know the thing is, he can get up. He can get up. He can make some athletic plays, and you got to take your hat off to his production. Keep giving credit to Coach Stansbury, because he's done a good job of just figuring it out, and that's what you got to do in coaching. Can't be a boardroom coach where you go in and you have your scouting report. I love those guys. They have their scouting report. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to do that. And all of a sudden, foul trouble, injuries. Guess what? Earn your money. Now you got to coach.
You got to be able to freelance.
Now you got to coach.
Yeah.
That's how you know who the good ones are. Yes. I don't want to casting their aspersions on anyone or who people love in the country, but you know the good ones when they can handle adversity.
100%. Jones up to gather that, kept it away from Anderson. Jump shot short, right into the hands of Josh Anderson. Quickly ahead for Jordan Rawls. Rawls for Williams, watched by Scurry. Here are 22s. Williams and Scurry able to pull that one down.
Very good defense, verticality, not fouling, not going for that up and under fake. That's a scouting report thing. Good attention to detail there by Scurry.
Jones on the outside, trying to get Sims going, and he missed that one. Savage had it, lost it inside Johnson. That one blocked. As Savage and Anderson both going after it.
You got to keep that one up. My goodness. I almost grabbed you. I almost hurt you. Okay?
Oh, I'm good. I'm a hockey
I was like, whoa. They went up. Sean's, look at that, number 4. Sean just goes right up and say, give me that.
Yes.
Definitely goaltending.
Yep.
Give me that. What was the call? They called it.
Nick McDevitt wants to know that as well. Goaltend.
Definitely hit the rim first.
Yep, Anderson double team. Good defense by the Blue Raiders. Hustling back though Hollingsworth. And they're going to get Hollingsworth for the personal foul. That's going to be his second.
Coach McDevitt's coming out of that jacket now. He says, you know what, I'm going to have to get a little bit more into this game and get my guys going. Yeah, lose the tie.
Roll up the sleeves.
They got a trap here, got a steal situation. Just have to convert, get some easy baskets so we can see that second half flurry that we've been talking about.
Right. Javonte Milner, hands off to Jace Johnson. Scurry back to Johnson. Williams defending. Shot clock's at 10 now. Jace Johnson, mismatch here against Hollingsworth, floats it up,
nice
uses the glass.
I like that. Little Euro step. Showing his quarterback skills, right? I thought he had a quarterback scholarship situation.
He did. Had a opportunity to play quarterback at Wagner from the Buffalo area. Came down here on a visit. A couple of days later, he committed. He just felt he had a better upside in college playing this sport. That's basically what it came down to for him.
It happens sometimes. It definitely shows his athleticism for sure.
Here's Gambrell, open look for 3, no good. And rebounded by Donovan Sims.
Good action. They trapped, they rotated, wide open look, got to knock that one down.
Jones from deep, spit out, good rebound, hustling inside there by Johnson. And the foul's going to be called on Jared Savage. That's going to be his third.
Get that energy. You need something to get this crowd into the game. An offensive rebound, something they haven't been doing. They didn't do in the first half. And here he is like, ooh, ooh. That's what we call him in the park. Like, ooh, ooh, like got him right there.
Nice.
Off the glass, off the window. How about that? Straight ahead. Not an easy shot now.
Well, it may be 6:25 here in the Central Time Zone. The bank's still open, apparently. Johnson having a good afternoon, evening so far with 11. Make it 12 and 5 rebounds. Josh Anderson back in. Pair number 4 is back in. You'll have Tyson Jackson, number 4, from Middle Tennessee, checking in as well. So they got to get Savage out with those 3 fouls, and that's another area where, with the lack of depth that Western Kentucky has, that you really got to manage those guys. And seeing Kozar getting some game time, he's came in and played in 5 games, 19 minutes. Gambrell, his playing time's increased because they've had to play guys more with the injuries.
Certainly, and when you think about it, if the game plan that Middle Tennessee State had was to throw it inside to get in foul trouble, they get behind, they can't do that. Here they are switching defenses here. If they can get to Western's bench, it behooves them to continue to play that way and take it possession by possession, but they need stops on defense, partner.
Yep. So Middle Tennessee doing what we touched on, a 9-2 run. Hollingsworth, though,
Sims got to take it. Yeah. Sims is right there. You got to take that.
Yes.
You got to put your big boy pants on. You got to sit there, give your body up for the team.
13 in the game for Hollingsworth. Western Kentucky now 1 of 5 from the field here in the early going in the second half. Baseline jumper, no good. Jones missed it. Milner up trying to get it. We got a stoppage with 15:36 to play in the ball game. Middle Tennessee chipping away, but they're still down 16 to Western Kentucky. Tomorrow at noon, go in-depth with our coaches, Steve Lapis and Pete Gillen, as they put on a coaches clinic when 23rd ranked Wichita State takes on UConn, only on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. So Pete Gillen has been embedded for the week with the Shockers. Coach Lapis with the Huskies. Each will focus their analysis on their specific team in the show. Game will be shown with limited commercial interruptions. It should be a lot of fun, and a couple of guys to watch out in the backcourt for these two teams, Chris.
Two veteran guys to learn from. I'm really excited to see that.
Yeah.
My UConn going to the Big East, but guess what? It's no small token what they're going to have to do to deal with in that league this year with the American Athletic Conference. It's tough, and your boy at Wichita State, he's back at it again, right?
Yeah.
They're playing tremendous.
Yep. So he'll go head-to-head with Christian Vitale. So 15:36 left here in the contest. Now a 16-point lead for the Hilltoppers. Inside to Williams, and Williams missed it. Jackson comes away with it.
That's called winning by default, because he was wide open, and he just blew the bunny.
He did. And this one is thrown away. It goes right back over to the Hilltoppers.
Sims just seems to be out of it.
He does.
Timothy Sims just seems to be out of it.
Yep.
They need him to get going. He's been playing well in the second half, and just shooting slump sometimes get in your head, but the hometown boy, he needs to light a fire on himself and start getting a little bit more competitive.
7 for 12 for 20 at Charlotte. That was after a 1 for 16 shooting game, including 0 for 10 from downtown, as Williams flushes one through inside.
That was a slip screen. He came up to set a ball screen. He faked it because they've been trapping and blitzing. It slipped to the rim. Again, no resistance in the arc.
Too easy. Scurry draws the contact on Williams. Just the second foul on Carson Williams.
See, coming to the rim, faking the ball screen. See, he caught Scurry cheating out. Slips to the rim. But pay attention. Where is the guy helping? You see, he comes on and give him that little, like he's swatting a fly.
Right.
And he gets a Kodak moment. That's what happens.
Put on a poster again.
Absolutely. I can't say Kodak. Who would know what that means? It's the iPhone. I got to find another reference, right?
I just say poster.
That poster. There we go.
Instagram, I don't, pick one.
IG him, right?
Sure, right. Exactly.
Every point is crucial for Middle Tennessee State.
Really
it's just so hard for them to score today. They usually come out on fire in the second half. It's been tough thus far.
Has. Long way to go for them. Hollingsworth. Back to Rawls, watched by Sims.
Had one trap, showed that trapping defense going 2 man-to-man. Try to, again, keep them off balance, create some turnovers with different players. Gambrill and Rawls playing guard. Don't foul him, though. You had him 2 seconds on the shot clock, and you foul.
Let him off the hook. So that is 2 now on Donovan Sims.
Actually smart by Coach McDevitt with Rawls and Gambrill handling the ball to go after them. Try to create some turnovers while those 2 guys are in the game.
So a fresh 20 on the shot clock for the Hilltoppers. Anderson hands off to Rawls. Shot clock under 10 now. Rawls steps on the gas, drives to the basket, no good. Jace Johnson the rebound. Takes a look, still with it, gonna take it in strong, and yeah.
I definitely want to see that, but I don't know if his feet were outside the arc. He looked a little deep. He looked a little deep. We'll see on the replay.
Here's your look.
Once again, our producer, he's the man. I was wrong. Great job by Johnson. Sitting right there, That's what the blue team needs to do.
Yeah.
That's what I've been saying the whole game and harping on, is that they have to give their body up for their team so that rim doesn't look so wide open.
Into the front court to Hollingsworth. Rawls into the corner. Gambrell. Hollingsworth wide open in the lane. Little floater didn't go. Fresh 20. The rebound by Carson Williams. So 13:40 to go. The foul trouble for Middle Tennessee. 3 guys with 3.
It's the energy level. The energy level of the get the crowd into the game.
Yes.
And just get after him a little bit. There's only so much Coach McDevitt can do. Like, he's not on the floor. He's changing defenses. He can't make shots for him.
Williams, Scurry got him on the arm. And with a left arm on the way to the basket.
And he's a beast. Once he gets the ball and he gets himself going. Remember the old Flet Flintstones cartoons where he pats his feet? Once he gets going, it's nothing you can do to stop him.
He's a big young lad.
Yeah, he puts him in the spin cycle. That's the scouting report thing. He loves to go right, spin left when you stopped him. He's a load to deal with in there.
He is. Product of Owenton, Kentucky. Double figures once again, 4 of 9, 6 boards for him thus far tonight.
Good time to talk about the transfers. Think about the transfer portal. He came from North Kentucky.
He's one of them, yeah.
There's so many kids that have transferred in this country.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to make sure you look at the game notes to find out where they came from.
Yeah.
And he's one of these guys that has benefited coming to playing for Coach Stansbury. But there are some kids that transfer, and it does not benefit them.
No. It's almost like some of them are transferring just to transfer. See it in this sport. And how about the list of players that were coached or recruited by now Middle Tennessee State head coach Nick McDevitt? Impressive list.
Very impressive list. And what it speaks to is his ability to develop.
Yes.
To develop players. And
look at it.
The sad part is that look at all the teams on the left side of it. Those are the places that he lost them to.
Right.
So that's the unique problem they're having in college basketball right now. The mid-majors or the low majors doing a great job developing players, as Coach McDevitt, and then you lose them.
Yep.
Then you lose them. And he talked in depth about it. It's something that's, I don't want to say plaguing college basketball, but it certainly created a different dynamic. Coach Stansbury talked about it as well. It could help and it could hinder.
Yes. Saw that Clemson logo on there on the bottom. How about Clemson beating North Carolina today? Wow.
I'm not struggling.
Scurry inside.
That's what they goes. Go to the big, feed the big fella, let him go at them.
Feed the beast.
Yeah, feed the beast, two by two, and then get some stops on the other end. Talk about that win by Clemson. How about Scott Drew? Props to him.
Yeah.
First time, 0 for 16, going into Kansas, number 3 team in the country, and beating them. Unbelievable. I know he's happy. Great dude, really good guy. Love it when it happens for the good guys.
We call it travel here on Hollingsworth, so I suppose Rock Chalk got rocked today, huh?
No, yeah, that does not happen that often.
No, it doesn't.
See the big fella, going right to his chest. When Kozar, he's not used to that big body being on him. Nice move with the left.
13 rebounds in the last outing for Middle Tennessee against Marshall.
You know, with Charles Bassey out, they're going to need Kozar. They're going to need him to develop and keep going. That may be something that helped them down the stretch.
Jones couldn't connect. Gambrell came away with it. Hands off to Rawls. Finds Hollingsworth in the corner, open look for 3, and Gambrell way up to get that one. He wanted that one in the worst way. Now Jace Johnson trying to keep it away. Hollingsworth into the scoring table, trying to bounce it off of Johnson. And Johnson shaking hands, apologizing to the Middle Tennessee radio staff. Kind young man. His team up by 17. (50-33) Western Kentucky on top. Let's listen in moments ago inside of that Hilltopper huddle with Rich Stansbury.
That's something easy in transition. We'll take, when you go in on slip in, thumbs up, forward, try that bitch off of 2 feet, put that shoulder into it, you're gonna get back. Don't go for 1 foot, flip this shit.
what you see there, you see a veteran.
Yeah.
What he's saying is,
Yeah.
it's time and score, which means we're up. We don't have to shoot quick.
Yep.
And when you get it around that foul line area or that key area, you're driving it and you jump stop and you get fouled. No surface shots. They've been talking about that all game long. They've been doing it all game long. He's saying, let's get back to it. And they've been 2 for 12. There's been a chance for Middle Tennessee State to come back, but they haven't been able to convert.
Yeah, 2 for 12 from the field, 0 of 3 from downtown. You said to me during the break, the recipe is there. Middle Tennessee just not capitalizing to this point.
They haven't, and you know, when you've been beat down so much, you know, there's only so much in the tank trying to come back. And let's see. I always say this, people laugh. There is still plenty of time in college basketball. One thing we know is that anything can happen this particular season.
Yes, it has been a season unlike any other. Jared Savage back in for Western Kentucky. Milner back in. And inside, that'll go. And Tyler Millen in the game for the first time. And he's going to be called for the foul. Savage going to the free throw line.
Just efficient offensively. Great execution. Just takes his time. Being a Savage. Shrugging it off. Says, get in the weight room.
And complete it, and it's 52-33 Western Kentucky.
He was another transfer, you know, from Austin Peay. Like, I'm just saying, like, that is what the game has become.
Good look in the corner for 3. That won't go. That was something Nick McDevitt talked about this afternoon at their shooter on. He said, we've gotten a lot of good looks at many times. We're just not making them. Guys got to make those shots.
It's a miss or make game. You're a lot better coach when the ball goes in the basket.
Yes, sir.
That's why I'm sitting here with you, buddy. It's a nice, comfortable seat.
Understood. There's Gambrell. Looks up the shot clock down to under 5 now. Rawls against Green. And good work there by Middle Tennessee.
Good defensive stop. Great job by number 55, Green, not fouling on the drive. Now let's see if they can get something going offensively. You see Coach Stansbury, he's like, there's no way that wasn't a foul, because that's what he told them during the timeout. Drive right down the gut and try to get fouled. They say they're going to call it. They didn't call it there, though.
Yep. Donovan Sims. Millen, open look. And Jones skied in for the rebound. Couldn't get that to go.
Just think about it. The open look, don't make it. Then you got a nice
little pass. What a pass right there from Rawls to Williams for the dunk.
Open 3, miss putback, don't get back, dunked on.
Yeah. Inside, Milner. Good dish from Antonio Green there.
I'll tell you, Williams is sneaky athletic.
He is. Just a hard-working customer.
I don't know if he has a future in the NBA, but I will say this. If he wants to play football.
Oh, he can play tight end.
Like a little Kettle. Was it Kettle from the 49ers, your squad?
George Kittle?
George Kittle. You know, I don't like him. I'm a Cowboy fan, but that's all right, though.
Anderson.
How about that move?
Nicely done with the right hand. He'll go to the free throw line as well.
Back to the keys of the game, just dominating the paint. That's a paint shot. Sprinting the floor. Just lazy defense, not getting back and paying for it right there. That's how you end up on a poster, as we talked about before, not getting back on defense. It's tough. It's tough sitting. I'm telling you, it's tough sitting there seeing this happen. And I know it's tough for the fans, given the success that they've had, but better days are coming. You need players, no disrespect to the guys in blue that are playing now, but they just got to get older. But it's not going to come fast enough because they got to play these games. But certainly not the effort they wanted today.
15 in the game for Josh Anderson. Scurry takes it inside again and gets that one to go. Quickly ahead comes Western Kentucky. Gambrell got it to go.
That one.
And one.
My H-Town boy.
Repping the H-Town.
Absolutely. It's what you get. Think about it. We talked to Coach Stansbury before the game. It's like, what are we going to do? Cameron Justice is out, and look at Gambrell coming in and contributing. That's what happens when you're the next man up. You got to produce. Coach, he said, I just need a shot. What, isn't it a baseball reference? Just put me in the game? What's that song?
Put me in, Coach.
Put me in, Coach. I just need a shot. And he also mentioned, which is for young players, he's got a longer leash.
Right.
So he can play without fear of coming out of the game. Gives you confidence to make plays.
5 points, 5 rebounds for Gambrell. 9:20 remaining in the game. Middle Tennessee has had a knack at climbing back into games. Can they do it again here? Green, great look.
Johnson's all over the place.
He is, and could not stick that back. And if that's on Savage, and it is, that's going to be his 4th for Western Kentucky.
Team in blue, they just need some breaks. They need a couple of those threes to fall.
Yep.
This has been the way they've come back. You see Coach McDevitt, he's saying, come on, guys, 54, let's get in that little press. He's going to make these knock down these free throws. Let's see if we can turn them over and get the momentum going. That's not a good way to start it off.
No. So they get Savage out with those 4 fouls, as I mentioned.
We talked about when we came in the shoot-around today, you saw that energy. Sometimes it doesn't transfer over. You see what's happening in the game. Now, you can give credit to the Hilltop because they're playing great.
Right.
But at the same time, the team in blue, the Blue Raiders, they have to play better. They have to play with more energy. They're home.
Here's Gambrell. Spins back and hands off to Rawls. Foul's going to be called on Jace Johnson. That's 4 on him. Tied with C.J. Jones, 13 points for those two. And he'll likely be coming out with those 4 fouls.
Tough stretch for the Blue Raiders. You know what you talk about this time of the game right now? You talk about body language. Body language. You know, who are the guys slapping guys?
Yep.
Who are the guys saying, let's go, man. Let's keep this thing moving. There's still time on the clock. Doesn't mean there's still time for us to get this thing going.
Jones elevates. That one spit out. And I noticed that on Antonio Green their last time down. He just kind of threw his hands up in the air like,
got to keep playing.
But you got to stay positive.
There's plenty of time on the clock, and sometimes that transfers over to missing shots when your energy level's down. There's no such thing as a 20-point shot. It's going to grind it out 2 by 2, possession by possession.
It's not the old MTV Rock and Jock.
It's not PlayStation. How about that?
Exactly. Here's Rawls from
2K.
downtown. No good. Jace Johnson the rebound for the Blue Raiders. Coming up on 8 to play here. 59-37, Western Kentucky on top. Go inside, Scurry, got that one to go.
See, that's been open all game long, but it's been open all game long. They could have exploited, but they're down. Make the reference again about the running football team that has to throw because they're down, so their game plan, it just takes them out of whack.
Scurry, a guy that was out the first 11 games. That involved an NCAA ruling on his transfer from Missouri State, so he's still trying to get into game shape. Nice run out here for Jones, and Anderson came back. Josh Anderson, he's slow to get up though. Reaching for the back of his left leg at the other end. Up and good by Hollingsworth. And Anderson seems to be all right. We got a timeout here in
Western Kentucky. Number 4 Johnson. Is there a bug on that windshield? I think so. Western Kentucky on fire.
(61-39). Rick Stansbury's team on top here on the road against Middle Tennessee. We welcome you to our office for the afternoon, now turned evening. Chris Walker, Ben Holden, and you put together a list that I think our truck really wants to put out there. Some surprises in college basketball, my friend. What do you got on it?
The one they're giving me the flack about is Auburn. Auburn's 15-0. I don't care if they've been to the Final Four or not. For Auburn, Bruce Pearl, great coach, 15-0.
Yeah.
Great accomplishment. Dutcher, my man over at San Diego State, 16-0.
Yeah.
Richie McKay, 17-1 with Liberty.
Yikes.
Hallelujah. And Tommy Amaker, 11-4, has a bunch of high major wins on the wall. Those 4, that's what I love about this season. Surprise, surprise. What it really means is March is going to be outstanding. Don't be surprised that who could be in the Final Four this year.
I've been seeing a lot of John Rothstein's tweets, and he's talking about kerosene, throwing it on your bracket. That's how it's got. I mean, this year has been like no other year in college basketball to this point in my recent memory. How about you?
It's been crazy. It doesn't matter who's number 1. Like, teams are not afraid. I think that has something to do with the transfer portal.
I was going to say
the one and done deal where
people
aren't afraid to go in Kentucky, afraid to go into Cameron, where places that you would tremble to go into when I was a player years ago. So I think it's better for the game. I know people would have their disagreement about kids leaving and kids coming and transfer portals, but it certainly makes every game watchable, that's for sure.
No doubt about it. Carson Williams getting a little work done on that left wrist with a little tape job there during our last break. Jeremiah Gambrell, a lot of moves in his bag of tricks. Now Williams going to launch it as the clock was down to 2 and goes over to Middle Tennessee.
I'm going to give you a stat that's going to blow you away.
Lay it on.
Right? They're up 22, and they've only made 3 threes. They're 3 for 11 for 3.
Crazy.
That is unbelievable and hard to do.
Yeah.
And hard to do to be up that much, and have only made 3 threes.
Yep. 6.5 to play. Williams comes up with a steal. They were trying to feed it down on the block there to Reggie Scurry. Jordan Rawls for Anderson. Nice night out of Anderson. 15 in the game for him. There's a lot of things very well. Gambrell strokes another one from downtown.
That's what he does. That's what he's touted as in high school. Madison, the pride and joy of Madison High School. You like that? It rolls off Houston Madison.
Sounds good.
HISD. Once again, the young contributors. Cameron Justice out. Gambrell with the triple.
64-39. The youngsters here trying to have a little fun, as Middle Tennessee not having a whole lot of fun in this one. Just 39 points with 6:12 remaining. Let's revisit your keys. Chris Walker, how they panned out so far?
You know, we spent a lot of time dissecting and doing a lot of research, dominating the paint, 38-12, just unacceptable. I'm sure they got to talk about that. They did a great job of limiting points off turnovers for Middle. That's why they haven't scored. Middle Tennessee did not get off to a great start, but as I mentioned before, the break, they've done a great job of defending the three-point line, but it has not mattered because they haven't needed threes.
And Josh Anderson, who last year when they met had a team-high 17, 15, 5 of 6. He's doing a bunch of different things.
He is. He's just controlling the game with his athleticism. There's a Kodak moment or IG moment, shall we say. Taking a charge, just doing it all type of ways. And there's that bug on that windshield.
There it is.
With that Windex. He is having a game tonight.
Yep, 17-7 for him when they met last year. It's a win for Western Kentucky. Rick Stansberry in his coaching career 1-4 all time against Middle Tennessee State. Nick McDevitt early on in his tenure, 0-1 coming into this one this afternoon. Inside of 6 minutes to play.
Western was picked to win the league, right?
They were picked to win the league. They got 13 and 14 first place votes after an 11-7 season last year, but you had Bassey coming back for his second year. You had a healthy Cameron Justice. And many thought that Kenny Cooper, product of Nashville, would be their point guard. That's a guy we haven't even talked about. Denied the transfer from Lipscomb.
A lot of coaches have been up in arms about who transfers get granted, whose doesn't, and obviously that was one that Coach Stansberry thought should have been granted. But he's not alone in that thinking this year.
Shot clock violation. Williams. Anderson made it, but doesn't count. Williams did all he could. He was surrounded by blue shirts to get it out to Anderson, but just not enough time. I mean, you're talking about those two guys, Bassey and Cooper, and it's no question why this team was picked first in Conference USA in the preseason. Donovan Sims knocks one down from distance. It's a 20-point game with 5 to play.
I think top 25. They beat Arkansas. Matter of fact, you did that game.
Yeah, I did that game,
and that was the game Bassey got hurt, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it was.
And they still came back
for them
and won that game. And so forget about being in Conference USA. We talked about it earlier. In college basketball, anybody could get beat at any given time. And when you have talent, particularly in this transfer portal era, or this one-and-done era, where older teams, you know, my alma mater won 2 national championships in the last 4 years because they were older. They were just older and more experienced, and sure they had talented players. And the coach of the decade, sure, I might add the AP coach of the decade. Let me throw that in there for my man Jay Wright. But nevertheless, just being older and experienced helps.
Certainly does. A lot of youth on this Middle Tennessee team. At the free throw line, you get Hollingsworth. Foul was called on Scurry. That's 4 on him.
Caution, the Blue Raider fans are hanging there with Coach McDevitt. Before coming here, he owned the league that he came from, and so it's just a matter of time. You just need time. I come from a situation like that a few years ago where the deck is just stacked against you.
Yeah.
It's not your fault, but it just takes time. Hopefully the administration is just takes their time with it and patient, because it's going to take some time to build it up the way it was. The expectations are through the charts.
He did take UNC Asheville to the NCAA tournament, 2015-16 season. He's an assistant there for 12 years. Head coach from 13 to 18 before coming here to take over for Kermit Davis, who left for Ole Miss. Nice touch there in the corner from Eli Lawrence. Triple makes it 66-47, Western Kentucky.
Sure, Coach Stansbury's kicking himself, got cute there, put a little zone defense, got him chasing, got a wide open three. You don't want to give these guys any ounce, any daylight to think they can come back in this game.
Hollingsworth, contact there on Green. Both teams in the bonus. Western Kentucky in the double bonus. Timeout, under 4 timeout, 3:54 to play in this one. We'll be back momentarily. Inside of 4 minutes to play in this one. Western Kentucky on top, 66-47. Busy night of college basketball here on the network, and when we're done, it continues with a Mountain West showdown between Nevada and Utah State only on CBS Sports Network. What do you know? I'm guessing you know something about this young man, Justin Bean.
Oh, he's playing great. They were ranked and having a great season. And when you get in the conference play, you're going to meet a couple of hiccups. You're going to play against my old boss, Steve Alford from Nevada. That has the makings of being a very good game. Yeah. Everybody needs to stay tuned on CBS for that one for sure.
No doubt about it. Coming up when we're done here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, this Conference USA matchup. Middle Tennessee State had hopes and dreams of getting their first W in conference play, but Rick Stansbury's guys undermanned at that, already without Charles Bassey. We go back, talk to Stansbury around 3:30 local time today. He tells us Cameron Justice won't play. He played 8 minutes in their last game on Thursday. He's got back issues. They're going to get him evaluated. There he is on the bench. Going to get him evaluated when they get back to Bowling Green, Kentucky. As soon as they get back, I'm sure.
You know the one thing that Western, not shooting the ball well from three, not shooting the ball well from the line. That just goes to show you what kind of game this has been and how Middle Tennessee State has struggled offensively.
Yep. And Western Kentucky entered the weekend 78% at the line as a team. That was 12th in the country, to your point.
Shooting right just a tad bit above 60% this game.
Free throw numbers, 15 out of 24 at the line for the Hilltoppers.
And if you ask Coach McDevitt, said they're going to make 3 threes and they're going to shoot that from the line, we got a chance. And then look what's happened.
They had a chance. They didn't hit shots. It happened really the entire game here, unless something dramatically changes in the last 3:20, but the deficit is 20 for them.
I just think that happened with the lack of physicality by Middle Tennessee State of allowing them to drive to the rim at will. It just set the tone for the game.
Yep, I'm with you on that. Shot clock under 5. Rawls, a launch from downtown, no good. Hollingsworth trying to save it. Can't, the violation on the shot clock anyways. Negated the save. Here's Antonio Green. For Scurry against Williams. And a foul called on Williams.
Yeah, big boy, you can take a little bit more pounding than that.
That's his third.
You take a little bit more pounding than that. A little Marlon Brando in there. Got to be careful. New flopping rule this year.
Yes. Yep.
The thing is, here's the other point, and I don't want to make it look like I'm making a bunch of excuses for Nick, Coach McDevitt. He's an accomplished coach.
Yes.
This thing will get figured out, but when you have a ton of freshmen, a ton of newcomers, right, and you have grad transfers and you have transfers from different schools, it's just tough. I've been there, that mixture. It's really, really difficult to get them going. And guess what? The other team, they don't care.
No.
They're going to keep, as we say, put the foot on the neck.
Exactly.
They're going to continue to pound you, just like Rick Stansbury said, at the end of the day, the other teams are not upset that Charles Bassey's hurt or Cooper didn't get eligible, or Cameron Justice is not playing.
Right. to your point with Middle Tennessee, just 2 seniors on their roster, to your point of their youth. Reggie Scurry is senior. Antonio Green is a redshirt senior. The rest, all underclassmen.
Help is on the way, though.
And a lot of freshmen, too.
Yeah, help is on the way. You got some guys sitting out that are really good. They're excited about. It's just you got to suffer through this. That's just what it is, man. It's building. No matter what sport. You do a ton of sports. You do hockey, you do lacrosse. You've seen it all. You got to suffer through this.
Football, same way. It happens. It's cyclical.
Yep.
It can be. Look, there's the help you're referring to.
Man, that's a lot of great jerseys over there.
Yeah, it is.
You know what? That's where all the scoring is.
At least today, it might have been hidden there. 2 minutes left.
Yeah, it's encouraging. I mean, you got to have something to sell.
Yep. Hollingsworth thought about it. Watched there by Lawrence.
I'll tell you what I was impressed with. Remember driving over here, they've done a lot of building here in this area. And talk about Nashville.
Yeah.
Tremendous areas.
Scurry got a piece of that one as Hollingsworth trying to float one up. 100 seconds and counting left here in this one. Lawrence all the way. And lays it up and in. 18-point lead for Western Kentucky on their way to their 3rd win in 4 tries in Conference USA play. For those of you tuning in for the Nevada-Utah State game, you'll be able to find that online at cbssports.com/CBSSN as soon as it tips off. And of course, we'll get you out there immediately after the conclusion of our game. Tip-off set for 8:10 Eastern, 6:10 Mountain Time. Carson Williams, another solid outing. He checks out of the ball game. He's been a warrior. He's been a grinder. He's just done it all for them.
You can't say enough about him.
No.
Stepping in for the All-American and just doing his thing and coming on the road.
That tape off the wrist, and Williams 14 and 8 in the game. Scurry inside, fouled from behind by Savage, I believe. And that's going to do it for Jared Savage. Gets a smile from his head coach.
He's ready to sit down anyway.
They played a ton of minutes. Anderson on the bench too, as Horton's checked in, number 14. Cozart back into the game.
Those Stansberry's are a lot happier. Remember when we first came in, he said, guys, come and sit down. I was like, no, Coach, I really
take a while.
I didn't know what he was going to do, but he sit down, let's talk a while. Right now, trust me, he's a lot happier.
Yep. As you said, veteran, been through a lot of these types of situation, and Savage there, Anderson, talking to Rick Stansberry, and
nothing like a road win, partner.
Yep.
Trust me.
They're tough to get
in
any
that
conference.
Body language. There's nothing. I don't care who you're playing against. You go on the road and you win.
Yep.
There is nothing like it in all of sports.
No question.
Makes the plane ride. The food tastes better on the plane.
Yeah.
Right? The movies are better on the bus.
Absolutely.
The sandwiches are better.
Yep.
Depending on what program you play with.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, in Western Kentucky's case, it's only a 1-movie trip. It's only about 90 minutes, but I'm totally with you.
Yeah, definitely.
Horton hands off to Hollingsworth. A minute remaining in this one. And the Hilltoppers are going to get that aforementioned road win floater there. No good from Rawls off the front rim. And Antonio Green will walk it up now and survey the situation. Scurry takes it in against Horton and draws contact. He'll go to the free throw line.
Just goes to show you in college basketball, man goes down, Cameron Justice gets hurt.
Yep.
Everybody's like, whoa, what are we going to do? They come out and other guys step up.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of the game. The beauty of the game is we got to play who's available.
Yep.
Availability is the best ability.
Yeah.
And they have stepped up today in his stead and played well.
Yep. Everybody, I believe, well, there's a couple guys that didn't play, but now he's going to get one of those that didn't play into the game as I speak. He's going to get in a couple guys that don't get to play much at all. Patrick Murphy there has played 2 minutes this season. And of course, earlier you had Cozart had played 19 minutes. He saw more minutes than he's seen all year in a game.
Just got to figure it out. You said it earlier about a veteran coach.
Yep.
Not shooting the ball well from the line.
Yep.
Not shooting the ball well from 3.
Yep.
Yet going to come away with almost a 20-plus win.
Yeah.
The bottom line is he's a very good coach. And you never know, man. The Hilltoppers better put the clamps on him.
Yep. 3-1 they're going to be, and Another 35 seconds from now in conference play is it's going to be an 8-game losing streak for Middle Tennessee. They're going to drop to 0-4 in conference play.
They're going to beat somebody, though.
They will.
I'm very confident they're going to get a win. They met a really good team tonight. No matter who's not playing, they're still pretty good with a pretty good coach, but they're going to get a W for sure, and a few W's, I believe.
Yep. So 23 ticks of the clock remain here. 10 on the shot clock for the Hilltoppers. They get it in bounds for Patrick Murphy.
Come on, Patrick.
They want him to shoot it.
Put that one up.
Instead goes to Horton, who missed the shot. I would have shot it. Outlet off the hands of Lawrence. Murphy might get another shot here. 10 seconds to go in the game.
You know, I wore number 15. I'd like to see him get one. How about that? Was number 15, 1-5.
Vinny Johnson.
1-5. But, you know, gentleman courtesy, I'm sure. Gentleman handshake there. Do not shoot this basketball. There's no way that Coach Stansbury is going to allow that to happen.
Nope. And this one is the final. Western Kentucky 69, Middle Tennessee 53. For Chris Walker, all of our great crew, my name is Ben Holden. Hope you enjoyed the broadcast. It's been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. After the break, we'll send you out to Logan, Utah for Mountain West Conference basketball. It's Nevada and Utah State. We say thanks for watching and so long from Tennessee.